Hey, what's up you guys? My name's Allie and welcome to my channel. Today I thought we'd do something a little bit different. I've never really done like a Q&A on this channel, and I thought I would give you 50 facts about myself instead of asking questions. I would just tell you 50 random things about me. I hope this doesn't come off as narcissistic. I swear I am not a narcissistic person at all. I just thought this would be kind of fun, and definitely let me know down in the comments if you are the same in anything, especially some of maybe the quirkier things, I guess. I definitely did think about this before. It would take me forever to just sit here and be like, So I thought about this, I wrote them down so we can get through this relatively quickly. So the first thing is I am about to have a birthday. My birthday is October 15th. And before I tell you how old I am, I want you to guess. So I am currently 27 and I am turning 28, like I said, on October 15th. So just next week, a little less than a week from now. I feel like a lot of times people think I look younger than I am, but I do feel like the last year or so, maybe stress, I feel like I'm starting to look more my age, so I don't know. Also, I love gift giving. That's kind of my love language. This is like a bonus fact. We're getting into this slow. I promise I'll speed up. But if I hit, let's say 175 subscribers, originally I said 200 and I think that's just definitely not gonna happen. But if I hit 175 subscribers on my birthday, on my birthday, I am going to do a giveaway. So make sure to follow me on my Instagram. It is at Allison Grosick. That's where you'll find out more information about the giveaway, and yeah, it's just a fun time over there. Feel free to come by and send me a DM. Fact number 2, I am married. I've been married for just about 2.5 years. My husband Ryan has been in a decent amount of my videos, especially my more like vlog type videos. He is actually 2 years younger than me. He's 25, turning 26 in December, and a lot of times, yeah, people don't think that. They definitely think we're at least the same age, if not him being older, so that's just kind of a fun fact for you. He is a bit younger than me. And that kind of goes into fact number 3, which is I went to St. Francis University in Pennsylvania, go Red Flash, and that is where I did meet my husband Ryan. We started dating pretty much right before I graduated, so it was like perfect timing. We did make another video about kind of like our love story, so I can link that down below if you're interested in that kind of stuff. But I studied psychology at St. Francis, and I also got minors in English and sociology. Then after I was at St. Francis, I went to California University of Pennsylvania, in Pennsylvania, not California, much less exciting, not a great town. But I got my master's in school counseling actually, and I also did additional work to become a nationally certified counselor, which means basically I can be a counselor in any kind of setting, whether that be school or a private practice. So that is my background. I've worked in campus ministry, I've worked in college career counseling, so all over the place. If you've watched some of my recent vlogs, you know I just got laid off a couple weeks ago, so that kind of sucks for me, but more time to put into creative things right now at least. So the other members of my little family are my 2 puppy dogs. So I've got Gibby, who is a total mutt. The pound thought that he was German Shepherd Lab, definitely some hound, but he was also the runt. So he's only about 35 pounds, and his personality is super anxious, super needy, very intelligent, I think. But yeah, he's very lovable if he knows you, but he hates you if he doesn't. He is going to be 3 in March. So then we have another dog. His name is Bernard. We just got him in February. He will be turning 1 in December, and I'm really excited because as part of my Vlogmas, my 25 days of Christmas Vlogmas, I'm going to throw him a little first birthday party, so that should be really, really fun. He is an Airedale Terrier. I grew up with an Airedale. They're really like goofy, but like very sweet breeds, and like my grandparents always had one, so very much like a family breed. I love him. He's very, very goofy, very sassy, makes a lot of like noises, but yeah, he's a good time. If you guys have been following me for any period of time, if you've watched more than like one video on my channel, you know I am a thrifty gal. It literally pains me to spend a lot of money on things. So that goes for clothes, house decor, all of that kind of stuff. I like finding a good deal. I love the Facebook Marketplace. I love thrift stores. Most of my clothes now I've thrifted either from like ThredUp or Poshmark or the thrift store. So I don't know, it's like the thrill of the hunt a little bit, but also I just love a good deal. My personality, if you guys are into that, obviously I'm a counselor, so I'm into that. My personality is INFJ. So basically that means that I am almost a hypocrite in a lot of ways because I am overly empathetic, too much, to a fault almost, but I'm also very stubborn. I have very high moral standards that I hold myself to, but also other people too, so that's kind of a weakness that I expect a lot from other people and definitely expect a lot from myself. I am a bit more of a creative person who can get burnout easily, so that's why I love YouTube and that's why I love doing different creative outlets, because even though I'm like doing the same thing, even though I'm doing videos every week, each video is different, so it keeps me really engaged and inspired. And I also have a strong focus on the future, so I'm very into goals, whether that be daily goals, weekly goals, lifetime goals. So I've got like a million different lists, but that's kind of like what helps keep me going. So that's kind of like my personality in a nutshell, I guess. So talking about sports, I played volleyball, basketball, and track throughout my life. I loved volleyball the most. I played that through my sophomore year of high school, and I played club volleyball for a little bit, but unfortunately I ended up quitting volleyball because there was just so much drama. If any of you guys have played volleyball, I don't know what it is about the sport, it just like really feeds a lot of drama, and that is not me. I can't deal with it, honestly. It just became not worth it. I was like getting stressed out every day going to practice, and there were just a lot of mean girls on my team, so I did end up quitting that. But yeah, throughout my life I played basketball, volleyball, and track, and I really enjoy team sports. I enjoy being active. So that really is a big part of my life for sure. I love interior decorating. If you guys have been following some of my vlogs, I try to keep you updated with all of the house renovation my husband Ryan and I are doing. And I'm not so much into the like putting down new floors and hanging things, but I love like finding the perfect piece for our room, and I love like vintage items. So I really enjoy decorating, and we're getting soon. I'll do another vlog probably in the next week or so, maybe like a birthday vlog, and I'll kind of show you guys what we've done because we've really done a lot in the last week or so, and it's coming together. I'm super excited. I would say my personal style is very much like industrial, vintage, but like also kind of ornate and cozy. So I've got a lot of different things going, and it's definitely not for everyone, but I love it, so it's okay. My favorite animal is a moose. Like, I love having dogs as pets. Dogs are man's best friend for sure. But I love a moose. I don't know what it is about them. They're just like a little bit quirky. They're like a little oversized. They got the big bodies with like the skinny legs. And they're just like goofy. I'd love to ride one. It would probably kill me if I tried, but I mean, maybe one day. I'd like to at least pet one. My favorite show is Hard. I love Downton Abbey. Like, oh my gosh, it's like everything I love in a show, and it's like basically perfect to me. But I also love The Office. I know there's always a big debate between like Parks and Rec versus The Office. I enjoy Parks and Rec, but I love The Office much more than Parks and Rec. I also really like Once Upon a Time, Grimm, shows like that. I'm also kind of like a reality show junkie a little bit. Like, I like Survivor. I love The Amazing Race. I like, you know, like Selling Sunset, all the different kind of HGTV shows. So I do enjoy that kind of stuff. I don't want to watch anything that's like too stressful, basically. I love England as a country. There's like a name for people who are like really into England. I forget what it's called, but I'm that. I really enjoy just kind of like the culture. I love the accents. I love the food. Great British Bake Off is also a wonderful show that I love to watch. I love like the BBC. I love all the British authors. Like, I don't know, I really like the whole culture as a whole, and I did go there for like 2 days on a school trip. It was like a France and England trip, but I was only in London for a couple days, and I would love to go back. I'd love to see more of like the English countryside, have some tea, like, hopefully soon. One of my favorite things to do is read. I love to read. Like, if I could just read all day, that would be fabulous. I'm always reading something. Right now I'm reading Cloud Atlas, which is challenging, but I'm excited to finish it and then watch the movie and see if I can understand it. Probably my favorite thing to read is historical fiction. I just love history and reading, so you know, it all comes together. That's like my favorite thing. Kind of going along with like that love of history, I love old houses. Like my family makes fun of me because anytime we go on vacation, I'm like looking up where's all the old houses I can go visit. It's just, I don't know, I just love it. I love like seeing the old architecture and the old furniture and learning about the people that lived there. And I have like exciting news if you guys like that kind of stuff too. So I'm actually starting a new YouTube channel next year. I'm going to do like 2 seasons a year, and it will be me going around throughout Ohio and exploring old houses and telling you about people that live there in the town, and I'm like really excited. So if you guys like that, definitely make sure to follow me on my Instagram because that's where I will be kind of giving the latest information, but I'm so excited to start that channel. I also love to write. When I was a kid, if you asked me what I wanted to be, it was a novelist, and that's never really changed. That's always been my main goal, is to write books. I have actually published one book. It's called Crossing Worlds. I published it last August 2019, and I have another book that I'm finishing up now, and it will be coming out in December. It's called The Butler, and it kind of ties back to my love of old houses as well. So I'm super excited for that. Once again, follow me on my Instagram for more information. But yeah, that's like my main thing. If I could just write, that'd be great. I love laughing, as most people do, I think, but I have a very dry sense of humor myself, so people tend to think I'm either very funny or not, and very serious, which is kind of funny to me because I don't think I'm very serious at all. But that's kind of my sense of humor. I love like David Spade, I love Jim Gaffigan, John Mulaney, those guys. I think they're great. That's just my vibe. I think that's why I like British too. Like British kind of have a very dry sense of humor. I am Catholic. I'm a Catholic Christian. It's a very important part of my life. I actually do have another YouTube channel called Some Catholic Chick. I haven't really posted much on there, but I do want to start posting on there more like once a week, kind of more just like chit-chatty videos, nothing crazy. But if you are also Catholic or just Christian in general, or just are interested in general, I will link that down below so you guys can check it out if you want. But yeah, like I said, that's a very important part of my life, especially when you see like my house tour video, you'll see a lot of Catholic imagery everywhere. So yeah, just so you know. I do live in Columbus, Ohio, but I'm from Pennsylvania. So I was born in Pittsburgh, and then I moved to Carlisle, which is kind of like near Harrisburg-ish, if you're familiar with the state at all. And I lived there until I was in 5th grade, and then we moved out to the Columbus, Ohio area, and I was like super ticked about it at the time because I was in 5th grade. But I actually really love Columbus. It's a great town. I don't love winter. We don't have the worst winters, but we do have a solid winter, and I would ultimately like to move south, or at least have another home in the south. But yeah, Columbus is great. We have like pretty much anything you want. We have lots of water, lots of like very big malls, things like that. The city is pretty good. So I enjoy living here. My husband and I, and Gibby and Bernard, live like 20 minutes outside of the city, basically in suburbia. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, I think. But my favorite place in the US is a town called Asheville, North Carolina. It's just great. It houses my favorite place in the world. Again, going back to my love of old houses, it's called the Biltmore Estate. It's the biggest house in the United States. And it's just awesome. Like, look it up if you like that kind of stuff, and definitely go there. It is so great. My favorite season is absolutely the fall. I love the fall. I don't love winter, which does come right after it. But yeah, it's so great. I'm kind of bummed this year that we can't really do as much as we normally would be able to, of course, because of the pandemic. But it's just like so nice to be able to sit out, wear some sweaters, like cozy up by the fire. I just love that vibe very much. Get a big old mug of tea. Set. And I will make that another fact because I do enjoy tea very much. So much so that I actually created an Etsy shop. This is just becoming like a big self-promo, but these are all things that are very important to me. I created an Etsy shop where I sell vintage teapots and mugs and just like tea related things. I just started it not too long ago, so I'm definitely still adding a bunch of things, but I will link that down below if you guys want to check that out. And then it has its own Instagram as well. I have a lot of different Instagrams. I love vintage items in general. As I kind of said, my house has a lot of vintage items. I just love the idea of getting something that had a past life, that had a past story. It's not something that you could just like buy at Home Goods. It's not something that would be in everyone's house. I just like having unique things. I don't know, I love the idea of that, and it just makes me think of a different time, and it's just, I don't know, it's my vibe. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. I was that person that was buying them the second they were out, read them in a day. I have not been to Harry Potter World yet though, like that's totally on my list of things that I would love to do within the next couple of years. I'd love to go there, but I am a big Harry Potter fan. Not necessarily a huge fan of J.K. Rowling herself, but I love her books. This is kind of a random fact, but I like the East Coast of the United States much more than the West Coast. Like I love forests and I love rivers and that whole vibe much more than like the desert. I've not really been out west too much though, just to Arizona I think, and I flew to Disneyland so I didn't see too much of California, but I do love the East Coast. This is definitely a weird fact. So when I was in 4th grade, I had a massive growth spurt, and I also was very active. I was playing sports constantly, and I developed something called Osgood Slaughters. Yeah. And basically what that is my bone, like my leg bone, started growing out instead of like straight. It grew curved, so I have a huge lump on my knee. We'll see if I can show you. I don't know if you can tell, but I have a huge bump on my knee. And I do have it on my other leg as well, but not nearly as bad. So my legs are actually different lengths. So I have a lot of like knee pain and hip issues. It's really fun, but that's like just a random thing that happened to me. So yeah, that's great. If I could only eat one thing for the rest of my life, it would be, and I have to warn you, this is really lame, it would be salad. I love salad, and I love that you can have salad so many different ways. And if it was the only thing I was eating, I mean, I feel like it's one of the only things that you could eat that you get like many different nutrients. You could get some carbs, you get your veggies, you get some protein. So as long as I could have different kinds of salad, I'll go salad. I love plants, but I can't keep them alive, so I have a lot of fake plants in my house, and I have one real plant that is like surrounded by windows, so I'm hoping I can keep that one alive. But I do love the idea of having all live plants, but that's just, yeah, not in the cards for me. If I could travel anywhere, it would probably be New Zealand. I love like the landscape. I love that you're right by the water, but there's also places to hike. I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings as well. That's like my nerdy side, Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. So I would love to like see where they film. That'd be so cool. But as I said, I also love England. I'd love to go there again, and I'd love to go to Ireland. There's a lot of places on my list. Hopefully maybe like the end of next year, I'd be able to go to one of them. I don't know, we'll see. So I have horrible vision. I'm wearing contacts, but my prescription is -4.5, so quite bad. If I don't have my glasses or contacts, everything's a blur. Can't do it. And I wanted to get LASIK next year, but my eye doctor is like, your eyes are too dry, so apparently I have dry eye too. I'm just a mess, guys. So I can't get LASIK, so I'm just stuck with bad vision forever. Oh well. So I am quite tall for a girl, I guess. I'm 5'9". I was supposed to be 5'11", but then I got the Osgood Slaughters, and instead of growing up, my knee went out. So yeah, I'm a little off balance, but I am 5'9", which is good. I married Ryan, who was 6'2", because I do like wearing heels, actually. One thing I've gotten into recently is tiny houses. Like, I've watched all the tiny house shows. There's some really good YouTube accounts. And I just like love the idea of living super simply. I think I could live in one. Ryan could not, absolutely. But when we move in the future, we would like to have a property with a decent amount of land. So I'd love to build like a tiny house or two and rent them out, or just like when family and friends come to stay, they could like have their own little tiny house. I think that'd be so cool. So that's something that I absolutely want to do in the future. So as I said, I live in Columbus and I'm from Pennsylvania. And basically, Pittsburgh has become a bit of a second home to me and Ryan. Ryan is actually from Pennsylvania, so we go to see his family out in that general direction as well, but we're in Pittsburgh probably at least 2 weekends a month, just because we have so much family there, and a lot of our friends from college live in that area. So I love Pittsburgh as well. If you're from Pittsburgh, definitely let me know down in the comments. it's a cool city. I don't think that I would ever want to live there. I like the open space a bit more that we have in the Columbus area. But Pittsburgh is super cool. I'm allergic to grass and dust. I think like everyone basically is. And also lime, I think. I used to be allergic to lime. I haven't had it in many years, so maybe I'm not anymore. But the last time I had Lyme, my tongue swelled up really bad, so I just avoid that. I have 3 siblings. You guys have seen 2 of them, I think. I've at least been in videos with 2 of them. So we've got my little brother Sammy. He is a senior in high school, so he's still around at home. And then I have a sister, Steph. She's about to turn 20 on Halloween, which is like, oh, crazy. And then, as I said, I am 27 turning 28, so there's a bit of an age gap there. And then I have an older brother who just turned 30, and he actually lives in Pittsburgh. So that's why he hasn't really been in any of the videos. Not that I don't like him. Hey Jake, I like you very much. But yeah, he's just not really around so much. My favorite food, although I would eat salad for the rest of my life, my favorite food is probably a good burger. I just love a good burger. Oh my gosh. I'm often anemic, so I think I just crave that like beef, like that just pure beef. But man, yeah, oh, good cheeseburger. That's definitely what I'm having on my birthday. So kind of a weird thing about me, I feel like, is that I love the water. As I said, that we have like a lot of water out here in Ohio because it's so flat. And there's a lot of like man-made bodies of water. But I love being by the water. I even don't mind being in boats so much, but I do not like being in the water. I don't really like being in pools. I definitely do not like going out to the ocean. I think something traumatic must have happened to me when I was young. I think I was actually thrown into a pool when I was quite young, and I just like don't like the water. I can't swim very well, so if I'm ever like out at sea, I'm really screwed, guys. But hopefully I'm never in that situation. But yeah, I don't really like being in water. I feel like it's kind of weird. I studied abroad in Italy. Sorry, these facts are like super random, but I studied abroad in Italy for a month. It was a really cool experience, but not quite the vacation you would imagine because I had 2 courses and they had to fit like a semester's worth of information into a month. So I ended up having 6 hours of class Monday to Thursday, and then we were able to travel on the weekends. So that was really cool. But I do want to go back to Italy when I don't have to do schoolwork and just kind of enjoy it. Oh, Italy has some good food. We stayed in Parma, so if you guys have ever been there, that was like our home base. That's where we went to class. And I was also able to visit Rome, which was awesome for me as a Catholic, and Venice, which I loved. Venice was so cool. It's just like unlike anywhere else I'd ever been. And also Cinque Terre was another place that we went, which is beautiful beaches. I love a good road trip, guys. I would love to go out west, even though I said I like the East better. I've not really been to many of the Western states, especially not like North Dakota and Montana and like Iowa and all those kinds of places. I think it would be so fun to go on a road trip. But Ryan hates road trips, so I don't think we'll actually be doing that. But I do think it would be so cool to like deck out a van and like be able to live in the van and go around for like a couple weeks. Wouldn't that be so fun? Let me know if you want to go with me. So I am naturally blonde. I'm not naturally this blonde. I'm naturally like this blonde. I used to be super bleach blonde when I was a kid, and it just got darker as I got older. I think that happens with most blondes. But yeah, I'm not a total fake. I'm just a slight fake. I get highlights. I don't dye my hair, guys. So I'm Allie, and I must admit, I am guilty of pinning many things on Pinterest and doing nothing with them, especially recipes. I'm guilty. This year, something very exciting happened to me and to Ryan. We became godparents of my niece Scarlett, so my older brother Jake and his wife Maria. They had a baby last December, so she's almost 1, so exciting. But she recently got baptized, and they very kindly asked me and Ryan to be her godparents, so that's something very exciting to me. That's something I take very seriously, guiding Scarlett in her faith throughout her life. So that's something that I'm like very proud of and something that is very special to me. I would say my ultimate goal in life, not really in life, like career-wise, is to open like a bookstore, just like a cute little bookstore that I would also sell like tea and some pastries, like that whole vibe. I think that would be so awesome. And have like little kids story time and have like a little bookstore cat or dog or something. That's like my goal. I totally want to do that within the next 10 years. we'll see how it all goes, but that's the goal. Like I said earlier, I live in Columbus, but I'm like 20 minutes outside of the city. And that's what I love. Like, I'm much more of a country person than a city person, but not like super far into the country. I like having some land, even though we like have no land at our house right now. But I do like having some land. I like not being super close to people, but I also enjoy being able to drive to the city fairly easily. So I'm very much not a city person in that I could not live there, and it does stress me out very much to like even be walking around a city. Like New York City is too much, and I could never go to like Tokyo or anything like that. No thank you, can't deal with it. But yeah, not a total country person either. My biggest pet peeve is probably hearing the same story over and over and over again, which if you know my husband, you might be like, why did you marry him? But no, he has so many more redeeming qualities than that. But yeah, I really don't like that at all. And I also just don't like when people are rude and like super condescending and know-it-all type people. Not my fave. This is a pretty random fact as well, but I am totally the person that very much is 10 minutes early. Like 10 minutes early is on time to me, because I feel like a lot of people are late a lot or just like don't really care about time. But that is something I care about, and thankfully that's something Ryan cares about as well. So yeah, we're always gonna be the ones that show up to your house right on time or show up to a restaurant like 10 minutes early. That's just the kind of people we are. I don't drink very much, and I've never done drugs. Like, that is not my thing at all. I probably have like one drink a month, literally, if I'm like out with the girls or something. I like a Shirley Temple cocktail, that's my favorite. But yeah, I've never been into beer or like hard liquor. I don't know. Even in college, I like really drank basically not at all. Christmas is my favorite holiday. Even though I don't love the cold, like I love having a nice like dusty snowfall around that time of year. I love all the different Christmas activities and just like the general joy in the atmosphere. It's so refreshing to be around. It's just great. Like Thanksgiving is wonderful as well. Basically like this time of year through Christmas is like, oh, it's just so nice because you get to see family so much and there's just so much going on. I love gift giving, so it's just really fun for me. I don't know, I love it. So much joy. So this might be a strange fact to some people, but I do feel like it's important to kind of put it out there just so people know. But I did save myself for marriage, and I didn't live with Ryan until we were married. And the reason I think it's important to put that out there is because when I was growing up, you don't really like hear people talk about that. But I do know a lot of people who did the same thing, and it's a decision that I made when I was very young, and I definitely do not regret it all. So, you know, if you have thought about that, just know you're not alone. So for my last fact, I'll just kind of tell you, I created this channel basically as a space for me to put my passions out there, especially as a place for me to like show off my thrifty fashion and things like that, my $2 sweater, but also just a place that could be a positive space. So feel free to always leave a comment down below. I usually answer everyone. If I didn't answer you for something, sorry, I just like missed it. But I really enjoy interacting with you guys in the comments. And as I said, feel free to follow me on Instagram and send me a DM. I just like to meet people. I like to know your story a little bit. I love the idea of just creating like a fun, positive community here. And if you ever have a video idea that you'd like me to do, just feel free to let me know. I would love to provide you with what you want to see. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is definitely different than what I normally do, but just a chance for you to get to know me a little bit more personally, I guess. And if you have any other questions for me, don't hesitate to ask. I can always do like a part 2. I don't think I could ever come up with 50 more facts about myself, but yeah, if you ever want to know anything, just ask me. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!